Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you my makeup routine. Very simple, I'm not an expert, very amateur, but this is just what I do. And this is going to be more of a daytime which I usually wear almost all the time. If I do have an evening routine, if I was actually doing something like a date or a wedding or something like that. But the thing I have to do today is until this evening, but it's not fancy. It's a meeting in the town that my mom and I are each building our houses in, and she lives in a different state, so I have to be her advocate and go to the meeting and get a building permit for her. So it's nothing fancy. For the most part, the makeup I wear is Bare Minerals. I've been very happy with that. I've been wearing it for several years now, and for the most part. I have a few other things in there, but for the most part, it is Bare Minerals. Okay, the first thing I do is do all my bases and concealers, and one of the best pieces of makeup that I own is actually an eyeshadow primer. I don't know if everyone uses an eyeshadow primer because I didn't for many years, but I got one as a free sample one time and I loved it, and so I use it all the time now. The one I use, it happens to be Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This allows you to use some cheaper eyeshadow. If you happen to have cheaper eyeshadow that doesn't stay on very well, if you use an eyeshadow primer, it will help you keep it on. The kind I have has a little tint to it. This one is the original one. I know Urban Decay has at least 3 different ones. Other brands might have 1 or more, I don't know. But this one, it has a little tint to it. And with this, a little bit goes a long way. I actually have too much on my finger. That's how much I just put on my finger. And that's actually a little too much. But I dab it on one eye, and then the other, and then I just kind of spread it out. I spread it out until I kind of have a dry feeling all over your eyelid. Okay. Next thing I do is my regular face concealer. The one I'm currently using is from the Body Shop. It actually has tea tree in it. And I don't know if you know anything about tea tree, but it's an oil. And I actually have it in liquid form downstairs in my bathroom that I use on pimples. It is probably one of the best medicines for pimples I have ever had in my entire life. And I used to go to a dermatologist and actually had prescription level, really strong medicine, topical and oral. And of everything I've ever had, tea tree oil from CVS has been like the best. So this concealer has a tint to it. I use number 2 on my skin. There's a darker one and a lighter one. But it's tea tree concealer from the Body Shop. It's in like a lipstick tube. It just rolls out. And you just dab it on wherever you have a pimple. I don't actually have too many right now, which is good. So I don't actually need a lot today because I am having a pretty good day with pimples. Then when I put it on, then I kind of dab around it to kind of get the lines. So there's not like a harsh line around it. Okay. Then to continue with my base, I'm now into the Bare Minerals. I use this, it is concealer. You can't see it. It's written really small. But the color I use is Summer Bisque. But this is the Bare Minerals concealer. And I use this over my other concealer. Bare Minerals will tell you just to use this. On a light day like this, I probably could have gotten by with just this. But on days where I have bigger blemishes, I kind of need both. And this also helps set the concealer that I've already covered. I use the Bare Mineral brush. I use the Max Cover Concealer brush. I put a little bit of the makeup in the lid. I kind of get a little bit on my brush, lightly tap some of it out, and I go just over the concealer I just used. With this stuff, I go a little bit more. I usually have some discoloration around my lips and my chin, so I kind of get this worked in. Reapply, add to the concealer I put up here. I kind of tap and I kind of brush at the same time. So that's kind of what I do for that. And then the last step on my concealer is under my eyes. Again, Bare Minerals. They have this product called Well Rested. It's an eye brightener, but it also conceals underneath the eyes. I love this stuff. This is awesome. Awesome. Same. Instead of putting it in the lid on this one, I just go straight from the bottle because I like. I don't know why. I don't know why I do. Just do. Kind of get in there, get some on my brush, and then I tap 3 times on the left eye. Add some more. Tap 3 times on the right eye, and then I close the eye and I kind of spread it. I start in the corner and I make sure I spread it all the way to the outside. So corner, below the eye, outside of the eye, all the way. Same thing on the other side. Close the eye, corner. So this is an under eye concealer, eye brightener. Love this stuff. Okay, and then at that, I am done with all my bases and concealing. Next, I move on to my foundation, Bare Minerals Powder Foundation. I am at the medium beige. That's what color I am. So just get your color matched at the store. Love this for day wear. I don't think I'll ever use anything else for day wear except for powder foundation. Love it. Put some in the lid. The Bookie brush that goes with it, I don't like. I used to have it, but I like ones with, it didn't have a handle on it. I used to have it around here somewhere. So I ended up getting the Handy Bookie, which is smaller, but I need the handle. I really like the handle to it, okay? Then I swirl. Try not to get all of it. I try to leave some in because I need it. Kind of give it a tap. And then I apply it in circular motions. Start my forehead, circle, circle. And then I move down to my cheek, and then I kind of sweep under my eye, circle, circle. And then on my nose, I just wipe because I can't circle on my nose. And now I reapply, tap, circle. I get real shiny on my chin, so I try to get extra on my chin because I get shiny there. This is so light and such a good match that you don't even really need to do your neck very much, but I'm just have a habit of doing that. And it's just so light and it blends so well. Love it. And the way this makeup works is the more you work with it, it kind of like, I don't know what it does, but it makes your skin better. So if you go over it like extra, it's actually a good thing. Okay. Foundation's on. Love it. Okay, the next thing I do is my eye shadow. Right now, I have lots of eyeshadow, but currently I'm working with 2 different ones. I do have the Urban Decay Naked palette because I have brown eyes, and I've heard good things about this. And so that's what I use the most. This is expensive, higher quality eyeshadow, and I do love it. I also work with Too Faced, and this is the Romantic Eye Kit. There's more than one kit. That's what this one is. And I also, and that's also expensive eyeshadow. And I also have ELF, Eyes, Lip, and Face, a huge palette. This stuff is cheap. I got this whole thing for $10. But because I have the eyeshadow primer on it, I still like it. So this is cheap stuff, but I love all the colors. On a normal day, I just do brown tones. But today I am actually going to use more of a coral because I know what I'm going to wear, and it's more of a coral. So I am going to use my ELF one because that's where the color is. The Romantic Eye one is more pink and purple, which isn't going to match what I'm wearing today. And the brown one actually would match, but I'm going to use this one I'm using today. Whew! I got my throat. Okay. Ooh, I don't know what that was. Okay. Now, I love using eye brushes. And I got this eye brush set at CVS. Unfortunately, it's a travel size one. But it was on clearance, so I got it. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was longer. My eye brush set. But basically, it is what it is. So I have 4 different eye brushes, and there's 2-sided. Basically, every eye brush you want. I have. Okay. The first one I use is it's actually, this is an eye brush, but it's actually called the Touch Up Conceal, but it's concealing around your eye. However, I still like this brush for my first color. For my first color. I usually clean it off the day before, so that's why I wear a towel. I just got out of the shower, so I wear a towel because it keeps my hair out of my face, and I also can use it to kind of clean my brushes. Okay. With this one, I picked my lightest color. And these colors don't have names, so I can't tell you. This one's kind of a very light beige. I get it on my brush, and I try to apply it to the top half of my eye. This one I'm going to have to use my mirror for. So, just the top of my eye. Reapply other eye. Alright. Then I move on to my second color. In my second color, I use my angled brush. And on the second color, because I have a certain coral color for my third one, this one's also light. This is going to be a very light makeup day. So you're hardly going to see this one because my third color is the one I want to show. This is also, it's a different shade, but it's still light. I apply this one on the bottom half of my eye. And I try to meet. I don't want a lot of makeup on for today, because I'm only doing one thing tonight, and it's still hours away, and I'll be home for the rest of the day, so this is going to be a light makeup day. So this one is also a very light beige color. Now, for my third and final color, I use it's actually a smoky eye brush, but I like it for my crease anyways. I'm not using it for its intended purpose, but I still love this one. I have a coral color. I'm going to apply this just in my crease. I try not to go all the way to the corner, to the inner corner. I kind of start from the outside and go at 3/4 of the way. Then I use my Bare Minerals Ibuki brush. Oh, I also use Bare Minerals eyeshadow. I have a bunch of that. I just chose not to use it today. but I still use the brush, and this is what I use to blend. So then I can just kind of blend any excess off, any of the blending. Okay. So as you can see, this is very light eyeshadow, and I purposely did it for today because I don't have a lot going on. Okay. Next I do eyeliner. And I actually need to find better eyeliner than what I have, because what I have I don't like. I'm currently using CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus, just because I'm used to it. Is basically the answer to that. And I like more of a marker than a pencil, and I like each eyeliner to have its own smudger at the other end. That way it's just for the color. Like, my brown one has its own smudger, my gray one has its own smudger, and on and on. My navy blue one owns smudger. But I wouldn't mind finding a new one. This one's a little soft and it breaks kind of easily. I'm using, the color is 210, which is espresso. I usually use a lot of brown eyeliner because I have brown eyes. This one, I'm going to use my mirror, sorry. I kind of start from the outer eye on the top and just smudge the lash line. Sometimes I only do eyeliner on top, sometimes I do it on top and bottom. Today I'm going to do top and bottom for, I don't know, no reason. Okay. Then I smudge it with my finger on the bottom, my finger on the bottom, and I smudge the top with the smudger. Okay. And then I just clean up any extra. I kind of have a lot on the bottom, so I'm going to clean up a little bit on the bottom. Okay, next I'm going to do blush. I have Bare Minerals blush also, but today I think I'm going to use a Clinique one I have. I have this palette. It's called Rhubarb and Plum Bronze. It's a dual. There's two colors. I'm going to use a lighter one today. And this I just put blush on. I kind of tap and then I kind of spread. Tap and spread. Try not to do it very dark. If you notice I didn't do mascara yet, I never do mascara to the very end, so don't be surprised. Okay. Okay, then I do an all-over color. I either do a bronzer, and the bronzer I use is Bare Minerals Warmth. If I don't do that, then I have this Bare Minerals all-over face color, and this one is a dual pod. One's Pure Radiance, and the other is Tropical Radiance. I use the Pure Radiance more. It's a little lighter. This is an all-over face color. I use it to kind of just blend everything in. So I set it to the one I want. Let's see here. I think I want this one. The brush I use, you're not supposed to use this one. I use Heavenly Face. One of their Minerals employees was shocked I used this, but I like it the best. Put a little in the cap, swirl. I tap this one pretty hard because I don't need a lot. And I usually try to apply this at first in places where the sun hits, whether, I don't care if it's the bronzer or this. My forehead, my chin, my forehead, my nose, my chin, under this eye. But once it's kind of cleaned off a little bit, then I kind of do an all-over thing. I hardly have any color on this at all. This has to be very, very light, or don't bother doing it. Okay. And then the next thing I do is my favorite part. It's the reason I use Bare Minerals. The best thing ever. I use Mineral Veil. It's a, this is the best stuff ever. It's basically like your setting powder, but it's so thin, light, sheer, It helps with shininess, oil absorbing. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. This is the best thing about Bare Minerals. I even have a compact of this in my purse. I have the pot of this in my makeup area, but I have a compact in my purse. I use the Flawless Face Bare Minerals brush. Get a little bit on the brush, tap, and just sweep all over. Love this stuff. Pay extra attention to your nose, your chin, or wherever your oily spots are. It sets everything. It makes things less shiny. It's wonderful. Love it. Love this stuff. And then the next thing I do is mascara. The mascara I'm currently using, I change all the time. I do not have a favorite mascara. I just really pick whatever catches my eye that day. Is Maybelline The Rocket Volume Express is what I'm using right now. This changes a lot. Okay, the way I do mascara is I always make sure I wipe off the very tip of it, because I used to get it like right here if I don't do that, so I always wipe off the tip. Then I go into my upper lashes and I start in the middle, and I work myself into the inner eye, and then back out to the outer. And then I use the very tip of it to kind of go in and make this winged effect on the side. I need a short mirror for that. Okay, and then the bottom lash, instead of using a brush stroke like this, I use a side and side stroke on the bottom at first. So, side. And then after I use a side and side stroke, then I might swoop down a little bit, work my way out, and then do the same wing tipped on that side with just the point of the mascara. Same thing on the other side. Make sure the tip's cleaned off. Start in the center, work my way to the inside, back out to the outside, the very edge, make the wing tipped with the pointer. Lower lashes, a different stroke, side to side. After I'm done side to side, then I might do a few sweeps down. And then on the inner corner, or the outer corner, I use a tip to make the winged effect. Okay. And honestly, this is usually where I end, because I have children, or I have one child and one on the way, so I have kids, and I kiss them a lot, so I usually don't put lipstick on. But because I'm doing a video, I'm going to go ahead and put some lipstick on, because I have a lot. I'm going to go ahead and pick Glazed Berry, because it kind of matches my dress. There's nothing secret to my lipstick application, just put lipstick on. I don't use a liner. I usually skip this step anyway. Before I had kids, I always put lipstick on. And if I'm going out without them, I'll put lipstick on, but yeah. So that's my makeup routine. Thanks for watching.